When I was just a baby, my mom told me, son, always be a good boy, don't ever play with guns. So I shot the shit in Reno, got my training right. For if and when the time comes, it might save a life.
Here we are at Reno Guns and Range. I'm Daniel. I'm one of the instructors here at Reno Guns and Range, and we are having an interview right now with one of our guest instructors, and I'll let him introduce himself. But yeah, go ahead, bro.
Well, I'm here as Sonny Garcia. I'm captain with the New Mexico Mountain Patrol out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Recently moved to Kansas City, Missouri. So I'm recently going to be a certified officer again in Missouri. So they're working on that paperwork now.
So, what we're doing here at Reno Guns and Range is we're trying to start this podcast and trying to get really connected, not just with our local community. Obviously, you're from Kansas City, that's what you just said. But one of the big reasons that we're doing this is to connect with people on a more intimate level with the community at large, because like we said earlier, we're, having a conversation before we start recording. I personally do believe the answer for all the troubles that we're personally seeing is individual responsibility and really supporting the individual. And I think for me, consuming conversations like this is what actually helps me be a better human. Listening to other conversations with other people that I'm trying to aspire to be more like, this really helps me out doing that. You are here starting this program or have started this program.
Sure.
And doing these classes with, and you said it's predominantly active duty people. And
It's okay. So I teach a course that's it's called A Warrior's Tale. It's called Fighting the Demons Within. It is, for the lack of a term, I don't like mental health or mental disorders, something like that, But this is for police officers who are dealing with trauma, dealing with issues, and they're still on the job. It is for retired officers, military, they understand that. Our dispatchers, they understand that. And that's typically what I created this course for, because I have experienced it myself, and I have dark stories. But through this course that it was created, and again, it was created so that you said something earlier off camera was like, if we can just deal with ourselves, how do we get our own help? Well, police officers are reluctant to get help because of a stigma.
Yep.
They're reluctant, and they're not. And I do truly believe that the chiefs and countries and across the country, that they're trying to make an effort to reach officers and provide that. I think they are. I think where they miss the boat is they're trying to bring in health professionals. And this is where I get crossways with some people, because they don't like to do much, is because most health people haven't been shot at. Most people haven't fought for their life. Most health people haven't had to see or intake the trauma that cities, people live every day. There are 911 calls every day for people calling for help. And these are citizens that have to see this trauma because they're going through it. But these officers are going from trauma to trauma to trauma to trauma. And now they're saying, oh, we got to get them help. So they bring in, with good conscience, a medical professional. And I can help you. How? You don't even know where I've been. You don't even know what I've seen. And you're going to jump in this hole with me, in this dark pit, and you're going to pull me out. The minute you start seeing what I see, you're going to get scared. So I have been in that pit. And I'm reaching down for officers. And I'm showing them a way that they can get help. There are agencies, and I do. Their agencies don't know they're getting help. I'm giving them resources to get help so that they can move forward in their careers.
That's even sad that you have to make it anonymous like that.
It is sad. And here's why. Because people, and it's unfortunate, label you. And if you go get help, you're labeled as sick. And you can't come back from it sometimes. And they'll use it in your past history. Oh, he had mental issues. He had to go to counseling. And today he shot somebody. Well, you know, he's been a cop for 30 years. Did you think that he wasn't going to get involved in a situation? So they want all this transparency, but they don't want the realism that comes with the transparency.
Yeah.
And the transparency is that, man, we're all struggling. Everybody.
So at what point, so how long have you been in law enforcement, and at what point did you want to start doing this healing side of stuff?
Oh, that's a very good question. In 1993, I was fortunate enough to be a sheriff's deputy at a young age. All right, about 23 years old.
Mm.
I started back in those days. I was commissioned, given a badge and gun, light training, and I went on the job without going to the police academy.
Nice.
I became certified in 94.
Yep.
I have been a cop since 1994.
Mm.
And I'm continually now, again, it's 2024. So that just tells you how long I've been on.
Mm.
Through those means, I have been 10 years on the SWAT team.
Mm.
I've been involved in combat situations, urban. I was a bomb tech.
Mm.
I was an EOD expert.
Mm.
I got my hearing aids, so I do have my trophies from those particular events. Anybody who's been a bomb tech will understand. I have been a federal agent, and I continue on now. And I won't mention agency because that's there. But the long story is that I was part of all these groups.
Yeah.
I went overseas for the country, and I served for many years doing primarily cartel engagements and crimes against children.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty much where I was at.
Mm-hmm.
But it was 2019 that lives in my heart.
Mm.
In 2019, one of the last persons I trained with the sheriff's department,
Mm.
he became a firearms instructor.
Mm.
He spent 20 some years undercover,
Mm.
narcotics, with DEA and the task force. He called me. He said everything was fine. I talked about his divorce. I hadn't had much time to spend with him.
Yeah.
And he said he loved me and how great things were. And he felt so comfortable.
Yeah.
I thought he was doing well.
Yeah.
The very next day, he took his life.
Yeah.
And I was furious.
Mm-hmm.
I went to his funeral, and I talked to his best friend, who was my best friend, and I told him, why did you not stop this?
Yeah.
And he said, man, there's all these signs. He goes, what signs? This is 2019. You know, remember, this mental health thing it's not even involved yet. You know, we don't have that yet. And he's like, we didn't know. And I had literally, ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
The year before, I did my thesis to become I got my master's in forensic psychology, and my thesis was on officer suicide.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why I went there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I did that thesis. To this day, I still don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
That very 4 months later, I created this course, and I had a chief of police give me an opportunity to teach at his facility.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I'll let you teach that class. It's certified. We can get some hours. And on that day, 2 officers offline got help.
No, good. I thought you were going to say the opposite. Yeah, good.
Got help. One of them was literally going to take his own life.
Yeah.
And he literally was told, he said, you saved me. I was going to take my life. But I went to this training. I went home. And that's when I called you. And I said, wow. And so since that day, 2019 and 2024, I have been sponsored by the USCCA. That's why you see the flag. I can't do anything without them. They've been great people. These people they care about other people. They care about everyone. But they have taken a scary venture going into the law enforcement side to reach officers in need. And I always tell people, and I want to make sure this, I don't save anyone. I'm not a counselor. I'm not the one you're going to talk to. But I have resources, but I'm just not the one. 30 plus officers have gotten assistance, help. And it's 30 plus because I quit counting after like 33, 34. I just started,
Yeah.
I just say 30 plus. And here's the thing. I started this course because I wanted to save one life because I couldn't save him.
Yeah.
But now he lives in, now I've done I don't know how many courses since then.
Mhm. So 2019, the friend kills himself,
Yeah.
and that's what prompted you to do this.
Yep.
Your personal journey up until that point, like, were you experiencing any kind of necessity to want to
You
get
know,
health or anything?
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna give you the truth,
Mm.
and the truth is really sad.
Mm,
I hid my personal trauma
mhm.
under a cloak,
Yeah, man.
under a cloak of muscle,
Mhm.
intensity, behind a badge.
Mhm.
I used it all as a shield,
Masking.
100% accurate on that clip. Because what they don't know, and I bring out in the training, is I had to be on the SWAT team, on the bomb squad, to do all these great things. It cost me 2 fiancés, 3 houses,
Mhm.
4 cars, I don't know how many dogs, and a couch that I usually slept on. Right off of that, I might venture. You lose. There's a price to be paid.
Yeah,
There is a price to be
huge
paid.
price.
And on one evening during my divorce, I was saved by an officer
Mm.
who, for reluctantly, I teach it in the course. He came to my home unannounced, unrequested,
Mhm.
and he stopped me from doing something that I was going to do.
Mhm.
And I asked him, when I taught this class, I said my story,
Mhm.
and he got word of it. We hadn't talked. He never told anyone
Mm.
until I revealed it.
Mm.
And it was 12 years later.
Yeah.
And he told me, why did you say it? I said, how can I ask people to be free of their past if I won't let go of mine?
You got to be vulnerable first, man.
That is the word.
Mm.
When you come to this training, you're going to see vulnerability, you're going to see humor, but you're going to see intensity.
Yeah.
And it's going to be raw. The language thing, if I offend you with my language, you know, the fact that we can offend somebody with a few words is ridiculous. You're offended that I said a few words. I'm not even hurting you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's unfortunate that, so many people, I think that it's your lack of adversity that makes you so fragile to where words can be painful, which words can't be painful, but they, depends on what you mean by painful. However, point being is that
They
if
can make you emotional.
yeah, they can make you, that's a good way of saying it. They can make you emotional. However, you're still in control of obviously your behavior, your actions, all that kind of stuff.
100%.
And then with the vulnerability, with specifically with this, like when you can first be vulnerable about your struggle, about your pain in this specific,
Yeah.
topic, that is so contagious, and especially when you said you're a man of faith.
Oh, 100%.
I'm not religious, but absolutely spiritual. Believe in God, believe in Jesus, but just not religious.
Sure.
So
And I think I'm the same way. I don't believe that you need to go to a facility to see Jesus. I think he's with me right here. He's with us today.
yes.
I keep telling people, how did this class go from Espanola, New Mexico? There you go. Shout out to Espanola, right? Little small town in New Mexico, right?
Mhm.
From a chief, Roger Jimenez, who says, I'll take a chance on you, come teach this class, to teaching 300, 400 people as a keynote speaker at the New Mexico Game Conference, and having so many people tell me, I have data that shows people wrote, you saved me today. You reached out. Now I understand that I'm not alone in this fight.
Yeah.
Those are words they're saying. I'm not alone. None of us are.
And your first example, you being vulnerable first to other people and
Right.
expressing your story, telling your story. And that is, I think, it's literally contagious. When you have that kind of strength and that kind of honor, whatever you want to call that,
Sure.
to be open about your own struggle and your own pain, that is literally what gives people, I like the word encouragement, because it's literally, you're bringing courage out of somebody, you're encouraging them. So I just love that word because it has that in there. And I absolutely believe in the, call it what you want, spirituality, to call it energetics, and call it something, but your literal energy is rising the more comfortable with yourself, and more bold, and more, the more love you have for yourself that you can give away to people in these kind of stories about your personal struggle. That is what makes programs like this, I think, so successful, is human beings like you that can tell your story and be vulnerable, especially from someone with your background, especially even just your physical presence. Big, strong, tattooed, intimidating
Oh yeah.
person. When you can have that box, that frame, with also the added vulnerability and honest and openness, that shit is contagious as fuck. That's potent, and that's why you get the feedback you do.
You're a Marine. Pain is temporary. You know what I'm saying? Right? Right? We used to say pain is weakness leaving your body.
In the body.
Remember that? Right? Pain is weakness leaving your body. Well, isn't it true that today's class was a success today, right? Doesn't matter how many people showed up today for this class, but it is not a coincidence that Jesus has me here in Reno, Nevada, doing a podcast at a range that I've never been to, in a city that I just passed through, around people who are just like me, like-minded, have seen battle at different areas of the country. We have one thing in common. We're all Americans, and we fight for this country one way or another. We fight when military says, well, we fight for the country. Who protects your family while you're over there, brother? Me. I'm willing to die for your family just like you're willing to die for mine over there. We're all in the same fight. But until we know that we have problems and demons are kicking us every day, we have money problems. There are people that can't afford things. They just have money problems. They can't. How are we going to get to school? We have kids that don't have enough clothes. Their parents can't afford clothes. Their people can't eat. Every one of us is fighting a demon. Yeah. I hear guys tell me, and girls, I was teaching the class in Waco, Texas. Real strong Texas red.
Waco.
Go Waco. The big traumatic thing there, right? And she comes up to me on a break and she says, I'm like, you okay? She says, I'm going through divorce. And my husband's been cheating on me. I go, have you talked to me? She goes, you're the first person I just told. I was like, why did she tell me? She's a cop in this course. And she came to me and I'm like, well, she's okay now. So then I get this text message from like a year later, like, hey, do you remember me? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No. Oh, everything's great. She made a great guy. It was temporary. But she had all these thoughts and they were just killing her. And she was trying to find a way to relieve the pain, the emotional pain.
Do you find, and do you have your own routine with dealing with all the weight that has
I'm so glad you said that. I talked to my counselor today before I came to class today.
Good.
I said, I'm teaching a class today, brother. I constantly need to unload.
100%.
Maybe not every day, maybe not every month, but I'll call him and say, John, and you know who he is? He was a pastor, chaplain in my very first class in 2019, who hated me when I first said, hey, if you don't like foul language, if you don't like intensity, if you don't like the way I'm going to speak today, you're really not going to like it. And when I started, he didn't like it. At the end of the training, it's only 4 hours. And I'll tell you why it's so effective. 4 hours. At the end of the training, he looks bad. He's a big guy, muscle guy. Yeah, he moves iron, right? Comes, gives me a hug, and he goes, I'm going to host you. We just can't do it at the church. We just can't do it at the church.
Yeah.
And I said, I thought you didn't like me. He goes, oh, you are going into the pit. I said, really? So about a month later after that, I called him up. I said, hey, man, you know that, you're like a resource. I need a resource. And he said, oh, who is it? It's me. He said, oh, no, I want to do you in person. We need to do you in person. So I went to visit him. Yeah. And man, there's got to be like some euphoria. I don't even know what the name of it is. When you just release all the bad things and you're just okay with yourself. Like all things that you should have done that you didn't do. Yeah. All things that you should have said that you didn't say. All things that you should never have done, but you did do.
do.
And all the things that you said that you really should not have said. And it's okay.
Yeah. I think that's one of the things that is the most important factor for a lot of people, is having anybody in your life that you have some kind of in-depth connection with that you can unburden yourself with. In any kind of conversation when it comes to politics or culture, whatever the case may be, what I personally see things as, everyone is looking for a political solution to what I see as a spiritual problem.
100%.
I think the individual and our consciousness, our soul, whatever you want to call that, that's what's at issue. And what I think makes everything better, our communities better, so is being better people. So people again are looking for political solutions. So what I think is a problem of the soul. And that's why, like I said off camera, I encourage people to be better versions of themselves. And the easy thing I hit people with is, you don't need instructors. You don't need teachers. In your head, what are 3 things you can be doing more of that'll make your life better? You don't need anybody to tell what those are. Go do them. What are 3 things you can be doing less of that'll make your life better? Don't go do that. And just like with everything else, I call it wisdom, the inherent knowledge that we all share. Like pain hurts, love feels good. These are all universals. We all inherently know that. The doing is the hard part. That's always the hard part.
You know why that's hard?
Hmm.
When will you forgive yourself?
Mm-hmm.
David Goggins put it right. Fight the demon. Forgive yourself and get ready for the next fight. Because it's coming.
So with this class and with what you're doing, obviously you're getting a lot of meaning out of that and a lot of purpose out of this. Is that one of the things that basically is like the outcome for people that come here, is newfound meaning, newfound purpose, or at least letting go of pain that they're carrying on?
So here's the purpose. First off, I have been teaching this class in 2019, and I have charged $0 for every agency.
Good.
I do not charge police officers.
Mm-hmm.
I charge them nothing. Now, that's why I need sponsors, because I'm not made of money. I'm just not. But I take vacation because this can't be part of work.
Mm-hmm.
So I lose my own vacation.
Mm-hmm.
I do it for free. And the idea is this: at some point, and I don't know when that will be, could be next week, I may not be here. I live today.
Mm-hmm.
We're not promised tomorrow. We live like we're promised tomorrow. When did we get promised tomorrow? Do you know how many traffic accidents happen in this country every minute?
Second most likely going to kill you.
That
Right.
you won't be here. You're not guaranteed that you won't get a disease. You're not guaranteed a heart attack. You're not guaranteed tomorrow. Live today.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't live today if you're still hung up on the past. I know that you went to war. I did too. I know you went to Afghanistan. I did too. But you got to do 2 things here. Leave it there. We got to live tomorrow. The country's so banged up with he's here. We're afraid of that person. They're so afraid of the future that they don't even live in the present.
No.
You're afraid of the future that you may not even have, because the present needs a lot of work right now.
Yeah. So if someone or any kind of range or anything like that is trying to get you to come and do a class, whatever the case may be, like where can they reach you? What is your...
First off, the first thing they can do is they can reach out to USCCA, and they have my contact, right?
Mm-hmm.
The second thing is on this flyer, my information's out.
Mm-hmm.
I give my information, but I'll tell you, these ranges, they have come together, and I'm glad that ranges, because everyone wants to think guns are bad.
Mm-hmm.
Guns are bad. If you have a gun, it's bad. I'm like, why? Do you know how many guns I have at home that have never shot anybody?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's
most guns have to shot people.
Like, really, so true, right? But they're out there now, they're not just protecting people, because and I know, when we went to fight for this country, there was 3 fights.
Mm-hmm.
There was one that we had to do on the street, and there was going to be an outcome of some kind. And then there was a criminal trial. Even people don't know that police officer, every shooting, every event it's looked at like a criminal act until it's justified. And the third one is civil. And that's where they come in. They protect you there. But here's why I like it. Now they've switched over. Hey, listen, why don't we protect the people up here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Up here. Let's get them up here.
Yeah.
Because you keep pointing your head. You keep saying, that fight is not out there. It's in here. Isn't that where really the fight is?
Yeah.
When people struggle for money, they're fighting in here. When people are struggling, how they're going to do so? They're struggling in here. And it's usually faith bound, right?
And I completely agree with you, man. And I'm very, very grateful that you're doing what you're doing. I think that if more of us, especially in the community, we're doing more stuff like this, which is personally what I'm trying to do more of.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know, I really, 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 really resonate with everything you're doing. I would love to pick your brain longer offline, all that kind of stuff, just to be able to, you know, even build mine and everything here even better. But I'm super, super grateful for you doing what you're doing, for agreeing to come in here at the range and do the class and then do some of this recording. But
I'm also willing to take any law enforcement agency. They can, here's this story, here's this. And I hear, oh, we got our own peer support. We got all that. That's fine.
good.
And I'm glad that you're doing it. I want you to do more. Take the free training.
Mm-hmm.
The USCCA will pay for me to go there.
Yeah. Take
the free training. And I'll tell you what, we'll go anywhere in the country.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go anywhere. I have an engagement in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to Midland, Texas. I seem to do quite a few in Texas. I'm going back to my home state, New Mexico, but I'm recently going to be certified in Missouri. So I already know I have two venues there, but I'll go to any state.
Well, again, brother, I can't say much. I personally appreciate you. Thank you for again agreeing to do this. But yeah, brother, just thank you so
Thank
much.
you, sir.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Hey, God bless you. God bless country.
Yeah, God bless. Same thing, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you.